according to you, what was the biggest challenge when surgeons and engineers start working together?
Yeah, I think there are a number, but probably the biggest challenge is being able to speak the same language. So, in other words, a lot of times as surgeons, we are very clinically oriented. We think about the problem from the patient's perspective. We don't necessarily uh, have a lot of interest or a lot of insight into kind of the nuances that are required to deliver a certain innovation because we're so focused on the clinical solution to the problem and not so much the technical part of it. And I think the engineers a lot of times focus on the technical aspects and the details of the how and the what instead of the overall why. And that's crossing that bridge and being able to communicate in the same manner, I think is very important and certainly can lead to some very nice opportunities. Similarly, I think the other problem is time management. So, for instance, at least for us, we are very busy clinically in terms of being in the operating room, seeing patients, doing education before surgery, after surgery, so on. But there's a lot of different clinical and education demands for on the both private and academic side. But finding the time in the middle of your workday where an engineer or engineering team is available to discuss and is able to kind of go over a project with you and you have the time to commit to really developing that, I think that can be a challenge. So I think of these as kind of quadrant 2 projects. So in other words, they're important, but not urgent. So still, in order to make progress, you have to slowly drive these forward. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of stuck in that urgent but not important category, and that's not very good.